family. Welcome to the Rundown with Renee. I'm your hostess, Renee, and we're back tonight. We have nothing to lose but our change, as you heard it right there from the Honorable Brother Malcolm X. Wow. Okay, again, these things never get old. It's always relevant. It's always right on time. It was on time then. It's on time today, especially with so much going on. And we definitely know the truth is under attack. I mean, it's been under attack for a very long time, but with a lot of things going on. But whatever the case, we're going to get it in tonight. We're going to be building on He Said, She Said, kind of like part 2 of Tuesday night show dealing with patriarchy versus matriarchy, which is best for our people. But tonight we're also going to deal with, child support, and should men be able to opt out of child support or fatherhood financially if they don't want the child, so to speak. Because the whole argument about abortion, this, that, and the other, which I think Trump just defunded or something, Planned Parenthood. But whatever the case, we're going to, get it in tonight. Let me go ahead and bring in my brother Psycho so he can give you the rundown on where you can go on YouTube. Peace. What's up, Psycho? How you doing?
Peace, Renee. How are you? I'm doing all right.
I'm well. I'm running around, and I'm so sorry because there was like a long break earlier, some technical difficulties, and I was like, man, I didn't realize my intro thing was as short as it was. So whatever the case, we here. It happens. But
yeah.
What's up with you?
Nothing much, first things first, let me say peace and black power to the family, peace to the live chat. For those who don't know, this is being streamed on YouTube, on my channel. That's SYKOPATHeist, SYKOPATHEIST. And yeah, we're going to get it in tonight. Couple of things, we wanted to address a few things. Like
let me say this real quick before you go. We're gonna have for those of you who were here Tuesday night or listen Tuesday night, Afro Pig will be on the line tonight. He'll be here shortly, and he his views, are something interesting. So I think that's gonna be a good conversation builder, which the kind of things was like really amping up towards the end of last show. So I think that'll give us a good foundation. I am gonna step away for a minute, but Psycho, I wanted to ask you. I have another line on here. I already pressed 1. Do you want me to bring them in yet, or how you want to do it?
You could do that.
Okay, I'll let you go ahead and say what you were saying, and I opened the line. I'm opening the line now. Their number is 682. I guess if you want to go to them whenever you're ready.
All right. Yeah, we just want to address some things tonight, family. There's a lot of separation in our community, as we know. A lot of things that we disagree on. We don't agree on everything. We're not a monolithic community. We don't all think the same. We got a whole bunch of different, thoughts and theological positions. Everybody's political positions aren't the same. Things are we're going to have rifts and everything, but what we need to try to do is stay away from petty drama. And the he said, she said, like Renee said earlier, we have to stay away from pettiness in our community. Like, we have enough things to fight to where we should not have to worry and focus on little children issues. That's little children issues. When children worry about who said what about this, that, and the third. Like, you have to, especially when you out here doing certain things and you become a certain you have certain status or whatever, become a public figure or whatever the case may be, you better have some tough skin. You better have some tough skin because people gonna come for your neck. You know, the more popular you get, the more people gonna come for your neck. I don't care what whatever your bag is, whatever it is, it can be whatever. The more status you get, the more people are going to come after you, and you just got to have tough skin. Some people have thin skin and long ears, and these are people that probably shouldn't even be in the public eye. If you're going to be in the public eye, whether it be TV, movies, artists, music artists, sports entertainers, even social media. You know, you got some people that just become huge off social media. You gotta toughen up your skin because people are going to say things about you. People are going to do things and everything else. But what we can't focus on is unnecessary drama. We got to leave the he said, she say alone. Can't get caught up. We shouldn't be doing it anyway. We really shouldn't be. If you have problems with somebody, you should always take it up with that individual. That's the way I feel. You know, if I got a problem with somebody, I don't even want to just go around telling everybody else that I got a problem with somebody. I'd rather just go to that person, address what my issues is. We handle it like grown-ups. You know, either we gonna walk away and with one person being humble, or we gonna walk away to agree to disagree. But either way, we gotta learn to be adults about things, and we gotta learn to, you know, not we gotta learn who the true enemy is, what the true enemy is, and it's not each other. But for some reason, our people always view each other as enemies. But yeah, I guess I'll go ahead over to the caller. Caller, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. This is Prince PL.
All right,
RPG for work Texas.
all right, that's what's up. Peace and black power.
The peace, black power to you, man. You know, this got I ain't got much to say. I just got to get caught up. I didn't catch last week's show. Only thing I have to say about the she said patriarch versus matriarch. I mean, we know that the patriarch society is based off the European mindset. The matriarch society is based off an African mindset. I mean, Egyptians look at the dead, Kemet, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They're kings that handle business. But the order of my eye, that's by the woman. She's the battle. You know, she's the first teacher. So we just have to get to that mindset that we just got to be, as men, we got to protect and keep everything going on and enforce the laws. We didn't enforce the other laws. So we running muck on the law, and we breaking the 42 like we doing out here, then it's gonna be an imbalance. It's gonna be a he said. The black woman is gotta do everything, gotta wear the strap because I always get the woman's name, but I know she was a great Kimmy Kush. And she had to wear both hats because of murders and things going on. But she was a queen, but she was still a queen. She had to be king every now and then. She wore her guard and everything when she was head. I just get her name, but I know what you're talking about. I think it was off the shed or something like that. But you know, she had to do it until she got married or whatever, and she gave that ring over. So there's never going to be a true matriarch over here on this land. It's not going to happen. So I'm a different African. I'm a new African. So I'm not going to ever think of trying to build a nation here. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to play the game of patriarch game over here. If you're going to try to build it over here, it's not going to work. But if you're trying to repatriate and do our own thing, then yeah, you can have a patriarch side, a matriarch side if you want. You know, I believe it is a matriarch side. I mean, I was raised in a household that was matriarch.
Yeah.
I mean, Harold died. My granddaddy wasn't a punk, don't get me wrong, but my mama was business savvy. She know how to get money. She know how to make. She was the first teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And all the granddaddy did was just protect the house. Whole ass motherfuckers didn't come around there with that whole shit.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Just like how the animal kingdom was. You know,
mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? As the female line, I go out there and bring back stuff for the baby. But then the line, the male line might bring back something too. But most of the time, it's the female line bringing it back. There ain't nobody coming around there messing with the pride.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how you gotta look at it. Ain't nobody getting punked down. the law is, the law is set, and all the man got to do is enforce the law. What we mean by enforcing the law, you enforce it to the 9/10. You got to smash somebody's skull wide open to enforce the law of the matriarch. You smash the skull. See what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. You don't let nobody come in there into the matriarch and mess this up. You know what I'm saying? So I just got to go by it. You can't be over here referring to Kimmy and referring to one of the greatest civilizations of all time. It was matriarch. It was a matriarch side. I mean, it is what it is. They was around for long. The only reason, and they was around long before that. 6,000 years ago was when it was written. That's when it was written. It was matriarch almost for millions of years. So I don't want to hear, that's how I feel about that. So that's why we refer to it. And hell, even the Bible, even though it's patriarch, still say he written. We're going by what the Egyptian Book of the Dead saying it was written. About consciousness and all that there. And you get your consciousness from the woman because of the breast milk and all that shit. We plant the seed and we protect the seed. That's it. That's what we do as men. That's all I got to say on the he said, she said. When we get back to that original point of view, you understand? And getting back on the African spirituality and the African principles. I ain't talking about European bullshit. I'm talking about 100% African principles of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? And the main one, the total prayers of African spirituality is the woman. She's the most spiritual. But she's the first teacher. That's why you say, why that woman at the church? Well, we know the church is bullshit, but she goes there because she's spiritual. She's spiritual by nature. And the man is ready to go out there and go hunt and go kill something and go do what he got to do as far and protect and make sure the vanguard is straight. Make sure that the next generation of boys and men is grown up to be warriors and everything and being strong and being what we need them to be through the rites of passage and do the things like that there. That's what it got to be. And that's how and I don't give a damn about European shit. You know, because they homosexual by nature anyway. You know, they homosexual by nature anyway. They give a damn about one. So when we treat our women out here, where we treat our women, we act just like that homosexual European. You treat a woman like shit, you a faggot. You damn near my people. That's what they did in that Constant Mountain day. They ate their women and they have sex with each other. That's what the cave white man did.
Right.
So we have to get to the realization and realistically understanding that we are the humane being. And the black woman is the closest thing to God to ever be. You'll be homosexual over the head real quick. When a kid know you can't be God if you're a boy, you can't be God unless you get you a black woman on your elbow. And the black woman can't be God unless she get married and complete the seed in the part of the game. When she had a baby and married and have a child. That's how we become God. Because now you're correct. Now you become a creator. Now you're God. It looks like the woman has got 2/3 of the work to do to get the life out. The man ain't got to do nothing but plan. So she's more God than I am. But she got to cultivate. You got to talk about Planned Parenthood. Well, hey, black women ain't got it. Hey, Planned Parenthood can be debunked tomorrow. I don't mean abortion stop. This called falling off. This called what's name do? So Tyson's baby, when he was married to Robin Gibbons, she fell down a flight of stairs and had a miscarriage. That's an abortion right there. It's just called a miscarriage, so you can't prove it's an abortion or not. You have to go by face value.
Mm-hmm.
So the woman don't take care of that baby, it ain't getting here. So she automatically God, in my opinion. Because all I do is plant seed, bro. I can go out there and hunt all I want to. But you don't goddamn me follow the protocol to get that baby here. It ain't getting here. Jesus ain't getting that baby here. Black woman bringing that baby here. That's it. So that's all I got to say, man. You can pass it on to somebody else.
Hey, Prince, what's up?
Man, I'm doing good, Renee. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you an update. New African Water Solutions bottles, 20-ounce cases, has been ordered. So that's on its way in. And then we're going to start. The next thing we fill in the website. And then that's when I'll come on your show. And we can knock down. We can discuss New African Water Solutions, where it came from, where it's going, and where it's going to be. So,
all right. Please keep me informed. I'm purchasing some myself, and I cannot wait to have you on the show when you launch your website and all that, so that the family can participate and the family can purchase it. So, you know, we gotta, again, now same old thing. We gotta support, but no, we just really gotta do it. Not just talk about it, but be about it. So, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. All right, y'all. So, yeah, the
official is basically New African Water Solutions is official alkaline water, black power.
Black power.
That's right. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. And also, let me tell you this. If you need to get some shirts and things done, holler at me. Family, me and brother Joseph Boyd, for some of those of you who may know him, he has a show called My Skin is My Sin. That's my brother. We're both a Liberation Minded Media Group. And we have launched our venture into T-shirts. The name of our company is Intellectually Petty Apparel. And Intellectually Petty Apparel. So IPA. So we launched our website on GoDaddy. And also we have our Facebook page where you can go and see some of the designs. We are taking orders currently, and we're going to ship out starting around mid-May. Joseph, he already, he has all the equipment. He prints up the shirts and all of that. And he's already, sold shirts and different things from his other site. So, me and him kind of put our forces together thus far. Man, because some of the people who got, many people know that I do logos and everything. And so some of those people have gotten their logos into shirts and different things. So we are constantly in the process of building, but we're, always looking to have new clients and work with people. I just got done building a whole design for this sister. It's amazing. Like, I love it myself. I'm like, oh, man. I'm at the rock this. But, so yeah, we just got a lot going on. So yeah, I'm running in like a million different directions right now. But, this is the groundwork a lot of times when you're trying to build something, as well as I'm trying to build up Renee Black Graphics and get as much solidified as I need to. So that's the process, and that costs a lot of money. So it's a lot of different things going on with that. So I'll be bringing more to y'all as time goes on. But I just want to throw that out there. So again, if you're looking for, African Water Solutions, we got that. Okay, Prince Pierre, he will be here soon to launch that. And if you need your logos, your flyers, etc., and you need your T-shirts, you want to get customized shirts done, holler at me. You can either go to my page on Facebook. You can go to Renee Black Graphics page on Facebook. You can go to Intellectually Petty Apparel Facebook page or the site on GoDaddy. You go to Joseph Boyd's page. However you want to do it, holler at us. We got you. And okay, I got long enough. All right, so let's get into the conversation tonight. When I stepped away, I didn't get to hear. Did you hit on any news stories or anything?
Oh no news stories.
Okay. I was just gonna throw out there real quick because I just heard this information. And I know Bill O'Reilly got fired or whatever, but this man is walking away with $25 million. He had a clause in his contract, honey, that if he got fired, that whatever the severance said, whatever pay he will walk away with $25 million. And so, it's like, wow, really? So basically, basically, y'all know he had a bunch of claims against him from different women that, you know, sexual harassment claims or what have you. You know, because they believe in grabbing them by the, you know, just like his homeboy, Donald Trump, that's what they believe in doing. And, you know, you have white men with power. You know, they some freaks anyway. You know, they disrespectful as it is. So they think they can put their hands on a woman and do whatever, you know. You know, like Donald Trump said, grab them, you know, and he said they like, oh, they like it. You know, just do it. You know, like Nike. So anyway, I guess he was, you know, engaging in these behaviors, and you know, several women came out. There was also a claim as far as a sister, but she was the only one who wouldn't. I think she wouldn't really come out with it, but it was in the transcript or whatever that he called her hot chocolate. I'm like, that was when I was dying laughing, because I'm like, this fool, you know, this man is a pervert, just like the rest of them are. They all are. Like I said, they believe everything belongs to them. That's that type of megalomaniac mindset, the type of mindset that these people have. And, you know, everything belongs to them, no matter what it is. And like they said, he told the one woman, or he told something he put out there that if any of these women, if any of them go and say something, I'm going to make her life something such a living hell that she would have wished she was never born, or something to that degree. So clearly, you know, and come on, how many stories has he probably done talking about somebody else's sexual harassment issues? Okay, so he know what the deal is. And he knows, you know, some of these white helpers is running and saying, hey, he did this or that to me, and he know he did it. But at the same time, you know, these people think that they're above the law. They think that they are above being dealt with. But at the end of the day, he hasn't lost anything, okay? He's only gained. He's going to be able to go wherever else, take them in, and do a show or whatever there. He can go independent. He will bring in 4 million viewers a night. 4 million viewers a night. And y'all know everything is on the internet nowadays mostly, and most people, you know, YouTube has become the new television. So because of that, you know, a lot of them, you know, shows are suffering, and different things, you know, so for him to be bringing in that kind of traffic on TV, it's like, man, you know, they kind of had to back up a little something. So anyway, yeah, so he's gone. Like I said, he's gonna be popping up somewhere else. He's doing well. He got his money. He's good. Y'all want to say anything on that?
Oh yeah. So it's not a coincidence that the Tommy Lauren chick gets fired, and then this chick gets moved over. He's going to the Blaze. That's where he'll be at. He'll be in Blaze. Especially like equivalent to Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless left like a G, quote, on his own instead of getting fired. And he went to Fox. And he's just going to go to the Blaze. The Blaze needs that controversy over there. They got rid of the Lauren chick because she wasn't standing pat on the conservative agenda. She started talking like a Democrat a little bit about abortion and all this shit. So they had to get her on. So that's where he probably be at over there with the Blaze, hooking up with that. I forgot that guy's name. Glenn Beck. He over there kicking with Glenn Beck. Them Beck like them kind of guys. He be over there with him. Getting a 50% share of the company and all that shit.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a great point. That's a great point. They can bring in that helper over the Fox. Because, you know, they love the blonde hair. They love that real Aryan looking woman. You know what I'm saying? They like the real Aryan looking one. So they would love
Bill
to bring
O'Reilly
over there.
and Bill O'Reilly go over there to the Blaze. The Blaze is independent.
Right. Oh, that's slick right there, because Glenn Beck, he used to be on Fox. I don't know what their relationship is like, but that would be a real smooth transition and bring that much more traffic over either way, because it's going to be people that's coming over to Fox. It's going to be people that leave and then go over to there. So that's going to be interesting. But
my prediction. I see it happening probably no later than September. That's gonna happen. Die down, he's gone. Everybody happy he's fired. They ain't worried about $25 million that he got. But that's what white folk do. They take care of each other. Right. Hey. Oh. Well, we know you was messing with a couple of women, but you made us about $20 million. We'll give you 25. Yep. There was 10 lawsuits for him and everything. Because when you make when you make generational wealth for the white man, all want to. They gonna get the black man and get that kind of love. How much money did Cosby made NBC? Oh, I forgot. Trying to buy him. That's where he fucked up at. He tried to buy that motherfucking ass. So that's what got his ass cut. That's what they take care of their own. That's what we have to learn. There's certain parts of the white man's playbook. We don't play, but we look at it. They take care of each own. They do have a code. They cut each other head off. Don't get it twisted. Oh yeah, but they I ain't talking about it because they cut his head off. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, it's 25. Ain't no clause in the contract. You know, anybody got a clause in the contract, he can't go to no serious competitor. You know, none of them CNN, NBC. But the independent motherfucker, they can't fuck with a small dude that ain't on that. So you go over there and work. Right. But we have to understand that we have to do the same thing. We have to protect our own at all times. We have to build our own meat. We got to build our own equipment. You can't be complaining why there ain't no black images on TV. Like you said, we got YouTube. Where's the RBG writers at that can write movies? Don't look for Prince Pierre. I'm a waterman. So don't call me to write now script. I don't do it. You need to get somebody that can. You know what I'm saying? Right. Right. Yeah, I ain't got the time to write no script right now. But somebody's there to write an RPG family script right now and put it on YouTube and it works. You gotta put a little sensationalism, put a little bit in it, allows them into the game, might have to have a little fight or something. You gotta do what you gotta do. That's no whole shit. Ain't no man wearing no dresses, ain't none of that. Ain't none of that mess. They ain't having it on this line. Right. Ain't no the gender roles is gonna stay in line. A man is gonna play a male role and a woman is gonna play a woman role. Ain't none of that bullshit. I know that's right. But did you have anything you want to say on the Bill O'Reilly situation?
Yeah, I find it interesting that it takes all the stuff that he says about black people over the years, and he said a lot. It's funny because I mentioned this before, but my mother's a hardcore activist still to this day, and she's actually called up his show to curse him out a few times, so that's actually hilarious. But I digress. Like all the stuff he's done said about black people over the years, and it takes for him to get fired. And then, like you said, they gave him like a going away present and everything else because of what? Well, I guess because of what he had in his contract or whatever. I guess I should credit his agent for that. But yeah, like Muchacha said in the live chat, he's not really hurting like that. He'll find another gig. There's a whole bunch of racist outlets out here that would love to have him because he has a name and people are gonna follow him. So he'll be okay. And Fox is going to be okay too, because like you said, they'll just find somebody like a Tory Lauren or somebody like that, and somebody to fill his shoes. Somebody's going to go in there, talk reckless. There's a whole bunch of people dying for that spot. Probably get like a Richard Spencer, who knows, anybody. Somebody eat it up, So yeah, it's ironic that he got fired, but when you look at it on all avenues, it's really not that big of a deal. To me, I just find it fun. Like I said, the feminist movement is real, and they only care about white women. I'm sorry, they don't.
Yeah. Let me ask something. I'll tell you a
topic comment, to further, what the other white women were already saying. That's the only reason they added that in there. But let's go ahead and get into the topic of the show. We got a lot of people on the line. Family, if you think you will want to contribute to this topic, go ahead and press 1. I will definitely get to you. If you are listening online and you think you via Blog Talk or YouTube, you will have to call in to contribute and to speak your piece. The call-in number is 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058 and press 1. We're gonna do it kind of like open panel style. So I would just say, again, just be concise with our points. Pass the mic because I'm gonna open these lines on here right now. One of them is Afro Pick. And again, family, if you missed the Tuesday night, I'm gonna let him tell you himself. But one of the questions that I wanted to pose tonight, and I gave it to him earlier, was should men, and it's on the flyer, but should men be able to opt out of fatherhood / child support financially? Because I know people can make the comment that they can opt out, anyway. But I mean, to where they wouldn't be accruing, child money, they would owe child support. They wouldn't have really any other expectations placed upon them in that way. So because, women, some men bring up the point that women can have abortions, that she can choose to not have the child if she wants to, no matter what the man wants, even if the man wants the child. So because of that, should there be some exception then made for men? So let me go ahead and open these mics. All right, I think we got Afro Pitch here. I think that Brother Jason and then Brother Equanice. Peace, y'all. How you doing?
Black power, black power, sis.
Hey. All right.
Brother Afro Pitch. And
all right, now hold on, Afro Pitch. Hold on, Brother Afro Pitch. I want to get to the meat of your point. And now listen, Afro Pitch. Go ahead.
Okay, I heard $25 million that he's going to get, right? I've heard millions paid out. I don't know, 3 or 4 million. How many? $13 million?
Was it 9 million? Oh, total? I'm not sure total.
It was 13. I heard it was like 13, 14 million dollars.
Is it 13 million?
I'm not sure, but go ahead.
13 to 15, something like that. It's a range.
Okay. It says millions of dollars in it. So
they kind of speak up, Afro Pitch.
Oh, y'all can't hear me again?
I'm not call you by your real name. Yeah, speak up. Go ahead.
Okay, so he paid out millions of dollars, okay, and he was bringing in, okay. Oh, they say he paid out total $25 million. Okay.
Paid that all. They didn't pay out shit. That's what the Fox Corporation paid.
Right. They were making over the 20 years. They considered what they had to pay out on cost of doing business. Basically, like, you don't get no bonus this year, man. We paid your bonus to, the women you've been doing whatever with. They accuse you of these things, right? And
I don't know about all that.
Well, I mean, I'm just speaking from a financial point of view.
Okay.
It costs money.
Oh, absolutely.
It costs money. But, okay, not to argue the point. The fact is, this guy probably made them more money they had to pay out first. That's why they kept rolling with it. They dumped him because the advertisers walked away. That's the only reason they got rid of him. And mass affection, that's what the story said. Mass affection of advertisers. So now, is he going to translate to the... I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I mean, that's the way the media works, though, brother. When advertisers move around, they're going to get rid of you. All the advertisers, they're going to... Yeah, that's it.
I guess what I need to say is, we heard Bill Cosby, the allegations against him. Ain't nobody paid out. Allegations, we heard each and every one of them. They bring each and every woman out there. These women are protected because they're white. You don't even know the details. You can't even judge it to see how filthy and low down he's been. If he has been. But the black man, Bill Cosby, with no proof whatsoever that he did anything, and he paid these women nothing. Maybe, did he? I don't think he did. In fact, you know all the details. Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I wanted to highlight on, the disparity in treatment. That's all I want to share. That's racist. That's the definition of racism and white supremacy.
Okay, Brother Ifani or Brother Jason, did y'all want to say anything about Bill Curry?
I just want to
move on or anything.
I just wanted to say the fact that you have had a panel not only that Bill O'Reilly has been on with a news station like Fox, and I think we know the undertone, or we know the message in which they have rendered for quite some time. So I think the bigger picture is that we've had a collective of people, crackers, black people, that have been supporting the Fox News Network and also have been supporting Bill O'Reilly. I think it is now time for us to get kind of racist. Not kind of racist. It's time for us to get very fucking racist. It's time for us to do the same type of shit, have the same type of platform where we down talking dog and trash crackers, and where our black people are dumping money into what we're doing and support. But it's when we attempt to talk like that, you got your own people that are saying, "Oh man, you being hateful, or you being racist, or you being," you understand? But then they'll wind up going to contribute to a racist cracker that wants to kill you. You know, that wants to kill them. You understand? But then they'll cite you for being. So I think it is time for us as a people, black people, all of us, maybe consider being fucking racist. It's time. We see that America obviously has been supporting and don't give a fuck about still supporting these types of people. You understand? So it's time for us to invest in the same type of support.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I want to say,
I agree.
Absolutely.
Wait, real quick, Jason, do you want to say anything?
Hello?
Do you want to say anything on Bill O'Reilly?
I guess it's good that he's kicked off the show, but but I think they put me. I don't know. He probably just go somewhere else and maybe replace it with some other racist dude or something. But
you must be over there celebrating 420.
I don't know, man. It's a total of 13 million paid to 5 million. 5 women. 5 women. 13.
That's okay. You're gonna have to speak up because your thing, like I don't know, your phone be doing that, whatever, going low or something. So you gotta speak up.
Into the mic.
This is disappointing. All right, 13 million paid to 5 women, and also the Murdoch family, 21st Century Fox, with also apparently they paid $20 million to former show Gretchen Carlson to settle her sexual harassment suit, or $40 million paid to get rid of Alley's, and they said it lost its best hopes for journalistic respectability in a younger demographic when Kelly left in January for NBC, even though Fox offered her more money to stay. Okay, her departure was in large part due to transparency in the hands of Ellie and O'Reilly. So they have a culture of being disrespectful to women and paying real money. Now, I'm going to be real honest with it. If you just sign up, I mean, what is going to do? Grab your booty, I don't know. I understand self-respect is worth a lot, but it is what it is.
Well, I mean, that's what that's what a patriarch society does. Patriarch society disrespects the woman, disrespects the female gender all the way around. They only pay homage to the manager. So it is what it is. Dominant white male run organization. Women don't get paid. You know what I'm saying? For abuse. Because and I ain't gonna use it. I really give a damn about a white woman getting abused by a white man. I really don't. But just I don't only give a damn about the white woman. I only give a damn about the black woman getting abused. That's a white man's problem. And the white women that need to stand up and fight for, and they have done that. There's no black woman to be over there. And if the black woman get harassed by a cracker, she need to take his ass to court and get all the money from his bitch ass. And get his ass to court and get every dime he can get from him. You ain't finna get it. I bet you. I bet you this. They ain't gonna get number 5 while the white bitch get 20.
Shit. I'm not seriously suggesting black women go get harassed by the white man. We don't have enough of that throughout history.
That's right. No, we don't need no black women getting harassed by the white man. It is what it is.
Right. Okay.
That's white problems.
Right. Absolutely. Those are white folks' problems. Like I said, I think the sister who was involved, she either didn't come out. I think she's one of the ones who didn't come out publicly with it. But I think she was included or what have you. You said what now?
Did she get a check?
I think she did. Yeah, I think she just didn't go public with it. And that's the one he called hot chocolate. Hot chocolate.
Of course. The one he remembered.
O'Reilly said he wanted some cocoa. He was cold. They being up in them Caucasus Mountains. So, but yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and get into the topic now. Like I said, Tuesday we were talking about patriarchy versus matriarchy. Which is best for our people. And there were some different opinions that went around. I think a lot of people kind of spoke to balance, but some people spoke more to patriarchy, more toward matriarchy. I don't have my sisters with me tonight. They're not here. Well, my Nikki, she's in the chat on YouTube. But Sister Maya, who's a working mom and wife and everything else, she's not here tonight. But
she's scared.
I'm here, so I'm representing for the ladies. Yes. So, all right. Afrobeat. Let's go back to you. And Afrobeat, your thing that you said. Excuse me.
I'm very disappointed these women weren't on here because they had some words for me last time, and now they have it.
Okay, well I got some words for you, and the show ain't over. Okay, we still got a while to go. So let's get into it. So now the question I posed on the flyer and that I mentioned earlier and that I gave you earlier, Afrobeat, which was, should men be able to opt out? So I want your answer, yes or no, and then please explain to me why you say that.
The question is, I'm sorry, say the question again, please.
Should men be able to opt out of fatherhood or child support financially?
Okay, so I'm glad. I just want to make sure I heard fatherhood too. It's a two-part process, and the problem that I have, and I'm going to say yes and not going to say why, is that men should not have less rights than women. Women are the ones that say we want to be equal. Okay, since you want to be equal, let's be equal. But when we see that there's inequality, then we should address that, right? Because you said you want to be equal, we're going to give you some equality. Now, it is unequal in the sense that men have actually less rights than you when it comes to their choice to be a father. We have less rights than women. Women have before birth and after birth opportunities that are not available to men. about the pull-out method and condoms and injections and IUDs that women can use. They can use some things too. But when you go wrong, okay, all the power rests with the woman. That's not equality. So she can have an abortion. She can determine her parental rights and her financial responsibility. The woman can have an abortion. You have no say. Nobody's asking for us to have say in what she does with her body. Okay? Not my standpoint. But we as men, if we say we don't want to be parents, we can't go have an abortion. We should be able to. We should be able to sign a legal document aborting our obligations and responsibility, just as she can. She can't do this. Do an abortion prior to birth. After birth, she can still do it. She can drop the baby off at a hospital or fire department and abort her right, terminate her right, however you want to say it. Nobody's coming after her with child support. You as a man cannot do that. We have allowed the white man to once again put us in a subservient position. That is his goal, to elevate the black woman above the black man, to make you the bitch in the relationship. That's fact. Nothing else that you can dispute. She can have abortion before. She can drop the child off, hospital, fire department, walk away, no questions there. You better not answer no questions. You can't do that. You can't say beforehand, I don't want to be a father. Nah, nigga, you busted that nut, you a father. Well, can I have the same opportunities as you? No. Why? Because you got a dick. That's inequality. It is unfair. And it should be illegal. All I'm asking is get the same right she has. So either you give me the same right to terminate it, or you take away some of her. One of the two. That's called equality. Ask for it, this is what it looks like. Okay, that's it.
Now, I wanted to upload, but it's pretty long, so I just won't even go there with it. But I actually wanted to upload a clip from Tammy Sotomayor where he was talking about men's rights and fatherless families. And much of what she said is much of what Tammy Sotomayor, much of what you said is, some of the things that he said. Now, here's my thing. This is the problem I feel with what you're saying. And then I want the brothers to chime in on this. First of all, I didn't like that you said they're trying to make the man be in the relationship. Now,
they have, legally.
Hold on, please. Nobody interrupted you.
You're right.
They're trying to make the man the be. The thing is, so basically you're calling women B-words. I didn't like that right there at all when you said that. Now, the next thing is nature, okay? Nature, something none of us who are here had control over. Whatever entity you may or may not believe in. But according to nature, when it comes to us as humans and many other animals, some not, but with us, nature dictates that the woman has to carry that baby for 40 weeks. Okay? Nature dictated that the baby eats through how the woman eats, right? You have the umbilical cord, okay? Nature dictated this whole process. Nature dictates that women, their milk comes in, right? When they get pregnant with a child, okay? Now, these are all things that nature dictated. This is not something women chose to do necessarily. That it will be women who carry the baby for 40 weeks, or that it will be women who are able to breastfeed. That wasn't a choice. those things. A woman can say she wants to have an abortion, right? And which to me, I don't feel like this happens as much as some of these men's rights people try to act. Where the woman, but I'm not saying it doesn't happen or hasn't happened, where the woman goes and gets an abortion against the man's wishes, right? He wants her to have the child. Now, say a woman goes and does that. Like, what's the major issue? Because at the end of the day, and I'm not for abortion, I'm just saying, at the end of the day, that woman still has to carry that child. It's going to be her body. It's going to be her body that's under the stress of having one or multiple babies inside of her. She's going to have to deal with that. And the pain that comes from the birthing process, the pain just in general, the changes from her body, all of that. Maybe having to be off of work more, maybe having other medical issues that come about because of her pregnancy. That happens all the time. So if her body has to go through all of this to bear that child, wouldn't it only make sense that she would have more say over if she chooses to have the child or not? Because wouldn't the man's part and responsibility in that matter come before that? To me, the man's real choice comes before you even get to that step. And if he knows how nature works, again, like you said, he knows if you ejaculate in a woman, there is a high probability or there's a chance that you may get her pregnant, right? And the man knows that from Jake. A lot of these brothers out here who are doing things like trying not to wear condoms, begging a woman not to wear a condom, brothers taking off, let's keep it funky, brothers taking off condoms during sex, okay? It's men who are doing certain things like that, right? So brothers know, with the exception of maybe some really young teenage parents, but brothers know what they getting into when you have unprotected sex with a woman, even when you have protected sex, right? But especially if you're not wearing anything. So why then isn't the focus more on helping brothers to have more sexual discipline, helping the brothers in order to choose and have the ability of discernment when it comes to women and who you want to deal with and who you want to deal with unprotected? What about that?
Renee? Oh, that's the right.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was directing that toward you.
Me?
No, I hear you, Jason. I was saying toward Afropic.
Yeah, that's Afropic.
Oh, I mean, look, I'm not unsympathetic to everything a woman has to do during pregnancy. But a woman chooses to have birth. Men do not have a choice. Everything she goes through in that
right.
So
then what's the problem? Right. The man's body is not going under the stress that the woman's body is. So wouldn't it be more apt for her to make the choice? It's not as if when you just ejaculate in a woman that the baby's just there. The baby has to go through a 40-week process to be, at optimal health. Right? So therefore,
You're okay. We gotta back up. The question here is: should we be able to say if we want to be a parent or not? Not whether women should or should not have a baby. Not what goes on.
But that's part of it. Is it not?
No, because your thought process is independent of the man. So if I say I don't want to have
parent, the woman is a parent automatically when the conception happens. She's parenting right then and there, bro. Parent on site.
That's right. That's right. Her parenthood starts that minute. Because if she go out and she drink or she smoke or she do something partying or do something that's not conducive to the child, people are going to feel a way about that. People are going to say something. If she loses that baby because of those things, she's going to get the blame for that. Is she not?
Nobody's arguing these things. Y'all are saying things that there is no argument. There's complete agreement to. It's not about her. And this is a problem too. There's very little thought given to the man.
I mean, damn, dude, it's not no thought, man. It's not no thought. We have the fun job, nigga. Now let's stop playing with this shit.
What do you mean fun job? What's fun about being a father?
The father was all fun.
Absentee father. What's fun?
I'm talking about far as the part we plant the seed. We got to sit there and coach and just be like, white. Well, come on. You just pray and hope that she does the right thing. You ain't got no control over that shit after that. After you see it.
Well, we're not trying to
do the right thing. You in the whole business. So you're talking about
have any.
Y'all keep trying to have something. Well, I'm not arguing. I'm trying to get where you're coming from. You talking about the shit. I had a chick that did me the same way. Told me I need $200 for the bus. I told him, and I told him, you know, I was like 20 years old. I said, "Bitch, you crazy a motherfucker. I'm not paying no $200 for that shit. I'm not gonna have that shit on my conscience. And I'm over here supporting that bullshit, and then I find out it wasn't my baby. No way, but that's the point. I wasn't going to be in part of to nobody else either. I'm not helping make no decisions like that.
But nobody's asking. Apparently, I know I said a lot. Maybe it was difficult to follow.
So, I get what you're saying. It's just you're not rapping that bitch. You're trying to throw these curveballs.
Let me hear from
the bar.
Let me hear, Brother Jason. Was you trying to get in?
I feel very misunderstood.
Well, no, I was saying, so when he comes from, like, let's take it from an African perspective or something like that now.
Yeah.
Now, living in a Western culture, is basically like all these people just go around, just lay around and like, lay with a whole bunch of folks and stuff like that, and like do things. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's like anything goes there. We live in a society like, oh man, I smashed something, I dropped out, nutted in a whole bunch of chicks. You got people talking about like Amber Rose talking about doing the damn slut walk. Like, what kind of damn bullshit? Are you proud to be a damn slut? What I'm saying is that there's no accountability, and I'm saying the fact of the matter is that, when it comes around, like I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my damn 30s. I don't have any. People be surprised and stuff. I don't play around when it comes to like sex and all that stuff. I wasn't like going into like smashing a whole bunch of chicks. Like I went out like that. But what I'm saying is that like having a kid and all that stuff is a serious thing. So I take it seriously. So I think that it takes two. It takes two to have to have a child. So you need like the you need a seed. You know what I'm saying? You need a seed. Like the male is the plant. We the planters. We the seed giver, and the women are like the incubators. They incubate the doggone kid. Produce the seed, and like most of the stuff that we decide the sex of the child and all that type of stuff. So the male controls all that. So, but as soon as that the seed goes in that to that, the woman still has to go through all those. She has to carry the baby. She has to do all that type of stuff. But my thing is that we shouldn't be having kids out of my thing is shouldn't be having no kids out of wedlock to even begin with. So my thing is that my thing is that before you have a child with a person or something, I feel like you kind of have to make sure that relationship is right from the begin with. You know what I'm saying? That a lot of people just want to just like just based on like sex all the time. So the relationship is always based on like sex and based on based on that. And I think that that people should be be committed to each other before even the thought of the kid already. before or something like that. So I think that but my thing is that as far as the opting out of parenthood and all that, type of stuff. So I think that if you bring a kid in this world, you have to take responsibility, you have the accountability. But as far as the child support thing and all that type of, that madness and stuff like that, that stuff is like, I feel like it was set up by like a system or something like that. I feel like, they try to use the court system against the man and stuff, because like the court system, it operates for the women, more or something like that. Like the court system is against the man, and the thing is that like, and you know what I'm saying? So, and I think too, we already heard
Can I say this, please? Sister Renee, can you please ask the question?
I got two new callers on.
Hello?
Neither one of these brothers answered the question.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get these two new callers. Hold on, please. Let me get these two new callers. 617 first, and then 963. Hey, what's your name? What are you talking? Hello? 617? Yeah, that's me. Hi, this is Nicola. Hi, my name is Nicola. I'm calling from Boston.
Yeah. Hello, Nicola.
Hello.
Hello,
So
Nicola.
I am listening to this topic. I think that putting all of the responsibility on the mother, or putting the bulk of the responsibility on the mother for having that option to abort a child, even if that father wants to keep that child, I don't put the blame on the mother for that. I put the blame on the laws. I think that a father has a right, if he wants, let's say she doesn't want the kid, but he wants to keep this baby, he should have that right to do that. If she was going to carry this baby long term, he would be obligated to pay for this baby or this child until college age, and let's face it, beyond, whether he wants it or not. So why then should she have the right, to say, oh, well, I don't want it now? And he really wants to be the one to be a father. I think selfish. I think it's wrong on that mother's half. And I really believe that the laws should be changed. That if a woman does get pregnant, that she has a legal responsibility to let that man know that she's pregnant, and two, to say, I don't want it, so that he can then have that, choice to say, well, I'll take care of everything. I'll pay for your medical expenses. I'll do whatever. But just when this baby is born, you now have no obligations to it, because she didn't want the baby in the first place. I think a man should have that right. And I know that there's all these laws and medical privacy that gets in the way, that allows a woman to have that choice because, quote unquote, she's carrying the burden of being pregnant and sick and all of that. But who's going to carry that burden? Because what's the first thing a woman does when she doesn't have money, or when she goes into labor? She calls that baby's father. Oh, I'm pregnant, or the baby needs money for this. I need diapers. I need this. I need that. So why is she now turning to him when he said to her, no, I don't want to have this kid? So she made a decision. This is my problem with what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. And I agree that, a lot of the issues are with the, a lot of the issues are with the system. But the reason I disagree with you is, how are you going to force a woman to carry a child? Like, how can you enforce that? Like, how can you enforce child? Hold on. How can you enforce making her carry a baby for 9 months? Like, for instance, what you was just saying, she should have an obligation to let the father know, and all of these sorts of things, so that if she doesn't want the child, that he's going to pay for everything, and then he'll take the child, or whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that never happens, but I mean, it could. Like I said, it could, and it does. But you still, how can you enforce making that woman carry that baby? Because there's so many different variables Wait, hold on real quick. There's so many different variables there because the woman could be unhealthy while she's being pregnant. She can do a lot of different things. Maybe something happened or whatever. She say she had a miscarriage. I mean, there's so many different variables. So how can you enforce making a woman who doesn't want a child carry the child for 9 months and then give the child to the father?
I'm not saying that you don't count the variables. If this woman can prove that carrying this child is detrimental to her health or the health of the baby, then by all means, there's a legal reason right there why she shouldn't be pregnant. But if there's no problem, and let's face it, there's a 9 out of 10 chance that there is not going to be a problem, then what's the problem with this child having rights? What about the rights of the unborn child? You know, the child didn't ask to be here. It didn't ask to be conceived. So that child should have rights as well. And so, and what's 9 months? What is 9 months out of the rest of that woman's life? What is 9 months?
And how should the child have rights? The child isn't even into the world yet.
The child has rights. It doesn't matter because it has rights.
Why do they prosecute women from smoking
But
crack?
listen, even when...
Why do they...
No, I mean...
I'm going to bring in 2 more callers, but even
if I have to go to the hospital and pay a bill every time to pay for prenatal care, pay for hospital visits, pay for... then that child is a life, and a life has
but it's more to carrying a child and birthing a child than money.
You can't smoke crack
in her body. What if the woman is on drugs? What is anything like that? You cannot force somebody to be healthy.
Okay, but I said that. That's a legal recourse for to have an abortion. What I'm saying is that if there is no reason, if she's on drugs, then okay, fine. But if she is not on drugs, if she is a healthy woman who can carry a baby to term, you know, without the whatever could happen. I mean, anything could happen, miscarriage, fall, whatever. But if at some point, if she is deemed a healthy woman who is mentally sound and stable to carry a child to term, then that father has every right to want to be a father to that child.
I agree with you.
That's fine that he has every right to want to be a father, but she's still carrying the child.
Can I like
You're still trying to enforce that a woman carries a baby.
Yeah,
and you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't enforce somebody that you have to carry this baby.
The law is enforced to pay child support.
You force men to be parents. The law forces men to be parents because they say we can't opt out. You're going to be a parent. And also the child does have rights because the mother, if she smokes crack, they will prosecute mothers. You better believe that child.
Are you kidding me? Okay, but see, this is the problem with that. That's fine that you can say that. But until the child actually exists in the world, it is still under the mother's, under her rule, so to speak.
And that's why the laws need to change. That right there is why the laws need to change.
I'm sorry, you can't. Let me open these 2 lines.
Thank you, Nicola, for empowering men. She understands that it shouldn't be like what she just said. She believes that we should have some power. That we shouldn't be that.
Oh, you do have power. You don't have power. Your power is not in front of to carry a child. You don't have control over that. You got control over your body. That's where your power is.
What is the other side is the woman wants the baby, but the man wants to abort the baby.
Right, that's what I was going to. That's another point that we were going to discuss. But let me bring these 2 callers.
But that's the point.
I think I finished the street. Hold on, Afropig, please. Hold on. 850 and then 550. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up? This is Ron from what's up?
Oh, you can go ahead.
It's fine. How are you?
Oh, what's good?
Yeah, who was 850?
That's me.
That's me. Oh.
No, one person's 850, one person's 586. 850 was was the first one in the the first one.
Oh,
so 850.
I'm 586.
Okay.
Oh, I'm gonna be real quick. Black Powder, everybody on the staff. You know what I mean? What's good? Sister Renee, Brother E, everybody. I would be real quick. I just wanted to bring in. I guess. Oh yeah. No. I mean, I kind of disagree. I mean, I kind of on the fence, I suppose. I disagree with having the law involved in anything that has to do with the black community, because it's an immoral country, and we can't depend on them to rule our community ever again or anymore. You know what I mean? But as far as what the brother Afropick was saying, I mean, I can see your point of view, bro, but you're pretty much being ultra pro-choice. Like, you're trying to force a law onto a woman's body. Like, you're trying to make her. No, I'm not. I'm not so. I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
That's not what I said. I would like the opportunity to clarify.
Go ahead, I'm done.
Okay, I want you to be done. One, what I said is that a man should have the same right to terminate his parental right as women. I said no more power, no less power.
Hey, whoever has the
I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
in the background. Please. Go ahead, Afropick. And then probably.
I said no more power, no less power. If a woman can terminate her right, a man should be able to too. If a man can't terminate his parental right, a woman should not be able to too. If the government can force him to be a parent, the government should be able to force her to be a parent and carry the baby to term.
So what if y'all disagree, like a court hearing?
Say that again?
I mean, like, what if y'all disagree? What if she want to keep it and you don't, or what if you do and she don't? I mean, court of law. I mean, rock paper scissors.
I'm gonna answer that question very quickly.
Okay. I'm gonna check the lines here. So if you hear yourself get muted, I'm just trying to find out where the noise is. Go ahead.
If she wants to keep the baby and the man doesn't, she should be allowed to keep the baby. Okay? And the man should be able to sign a piece of paper and terminate his right to have a legal abortion. If we're going to keep the system as it is, where the system forces the man to be a father, the system should also force her to give birth to that child if the man wants to keep the baby. I understand make it equal. If she doesn't want to keep the baby, and the man is forced to be a parent under this legal system, then the legal system will force her to keep that baby and then hand it over to him, and she can go ahead and terminate her rights at that point. Just make it equal. That's all I'm asking for. I'm not saying anything other than that. So if he can terminate his, then she can terminate hers. But we can't have the ability as men to say, I don't want to be a parent, sign a piece of paper, and it's done. The government wants to be a parent, and they're under the threat of jail if you don't pay that goddamn money.
So if you want to keep it and she don't, you're going to pay her like $80,000, like white people to carry that.
I think the only obligation that the man should have, if he wants to keep the baby but she doesn't, he should be able to pay for the hospital costs. Okay, he should be able to pay for all of her medical needs. If insurance or whatever doesn't pay for it, that he should be able to pay for that. Once she has that baby, the state doesn't, your insurance don't give you money after you have a child for any reason, not for pain or anything like that. So after she has that child, she should terminate her parental rights because she didn't want the baby anyway, give that man legal custody of the child, and be on her way. Buy her a couple of boxes of pads or whatever she may need while she's bleeding, and then be on her way.
So you're trying to basically force a woman.
That's not right.
You're trying to basically force a woman to be a surrogate.
Yes.
That's what you're basically doing, is forcing a woman to carry a baby that she doesn't want.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe it will make her think twice to ensure that she doesn't get pregnant.
Okay, 586, please, what's your name? 586, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Brother Larry is calling from Michigan. How's everybody doing?
Hey, let me just say this. Good. Please, brother, let me just say this real quick because we got a lot of people on the line. Can y'all just mute your phone? Just to mute it. You know what I mean? Because it's still like, I think people may have like a computer on or something in the background, so it's kind of like a feedback. And if you have like anything on in the back, just please mute it, please, so we can all hear each other well and it sounds good to the people. All right, 586. There's still an echo somewhere from some. Okay, go ahead, 586.
Yeah, I'm still hearing it too. I'm still hearing the echo as well.
Go ahead. I'm gonna just talk to you my phone. So if you're not talking, okay, go ahead. If you're not talking, your phone. Right. Okay. Well, that would be great. And then when you want to come in, just come in. You know what I'm saying? But while somebody else is talking, so that way we can hear, because people were complaining and different things, and then I can also hear the feedback, and that would help. Okay, 586, do you have anything in the background, 586?
No, I don't have anything in the background.
You have on an earpiece?
Yeah, I hear something now.
Oh, that may be what it is. But go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say that I believe from the time of conception, you have rights that you are with morally. That's all I want to say, and I just disagree with that point.
Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
I just believe from the time of conception, you're born with rights. You have rights from since conception.
Okay, so if you have rights since conception, how is that enforced? How do you enforce the rights of a child if the child is still in the woman?
So you think that child, I'm born, you think they don't have a spirit? That's what you're telling me?
You said what? Are they going to have a split? Okay, I don't know if people celebrating 420. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm reading this other call too. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brother E.
Africa, you got kids? How's that relevant? Is he there?
Yeah, we don't have to get personal like that. We don't have to.
No, I mean, that's the general.
But I know, but let's not get personal with people.
Well, I'll answer the question. I just want to know, why is it relevant? Say it one more time. I can hear you. You broke up a little bit. I may answer your question. I do not object to you asking the question, but I just want to ask, how is it relevant before I answer?
Well, normally, any person that have an issue with this particular topic about, either women should keep it, kill it, or men should, have no part in the baby's life or whatever the case may be, I had to ask. I mean, in general, you know. Just to clear it out, you know. So it seemed like it's more of a deeper issue. That's why I kind of asked the question, number one.
When you say deeper issue, meaning what?
I mean, this is general, you know.
Well, I mean, when you say
I know, but let's just try to keep it. Let's just try to keep it in general.
Hey, Renee.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, he might be on to something. I mean, could we just take a minute for him to answer that? What's the deeper issue from your viewpoint, brother?
I know, but we're getting away from just dealing with the topic. The show is not about you specifically.
Renee, let me deal with it. Renee.
Go ahead. I'm not sure what that is. Go ahead.
Me,
hold on. Brother Ewan, you finished?
I mean, I would have to say that I don't see how that's relevant because you got women and men who are parents and they're lousy parents. They kill their kids, they put their kids in microwaves, they do everything. And then you have parents who are people who can't have kids and they treat those kids golden. They adopt all these kids. So whether I don't think because you're being a parent or not validates your reasoning for saying what you say. Or only people who have kids should be able to speak on this issue.
So go ahead, Brother E. Wrap up your point.
It's the question Norman asked, but you know, he wants to go broader and deep. But you know, this is taking off the topic of the patriarch matriarch. I think I answered this on Tuesday's show about the patriarch situation. But we now talking about something else about, you know, the issue about even having children in this world. Period. So, you know, when I ask this question, in general, it seems like the biggest issue is, you know, us, the black community, that we have them. Either we choose to have them or not, you know. Now, the premise of this is, you know, life moves on, you know. And if we go pick any mate for a reason, and then all of a sudden we decide to impregnate her, and she either decides to carry the baby or kill it, you know, that's an individual's decision. You know what I'm saying? No one's gonna put a gun in the head and tell them, say, oh, you know, I don't want no father. You know, kill that quick. You know what I'm saying? And the girl might fight, but I always want to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like a conflict between the two sexes in regards to their actions when they decide to engage in this play of sex. You know what I'm saying? And intercourse can be a deadly game if not used correctly. So the premise to sit there and say if a person should keep or not, we always go back at the end of the day and say we're engaging in this thing we call intercourse. I like to call it intercourse itself. And when you do that, then you are just rolling dice for how you want to play or not. You know? So that is the bigger issue. So, you know, if this is a premise where, you know, some people that might end, I'm not sure we have kids, I'm not going to assume, but let's say we did or not. Okay. Now say, you know, as a man, since you bring this argument, I take it, you know, you as a black man, you're very much well endowed that you know how you deal with your seed properly from your own experience. Yeah, am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I'm not following you.
Okay, so you know, so in regards to what other men, so what? Hello.
Go ahead. Trying to eliminate the woman from any responsibility to come forward and say, let's make this thing equal. That's on the track. That's what I'm guessing. That brother, to answer your question, no, I have no children.
But see, this is the problem. Why is it that it has to be equal? Nothing, I mean, as much as we talk about it, especially, you know, with our condition as a people in our situation, but some things are not equal. Some
Do you
things
want
are just not
equality?
equal. And hold on. And when it comes, can you hold on? And some things are just unequal. They just are. They're, you know what I mean? So in terms of this situation, when it comes to carrying a child, it's not equal. It's just not. So therefore, that's what I'm saying. What is crazy about it to me is you can't force some That's just unless you literally put them into a hospital or something where everything was restricted, whatever, and you did something like that. You can't force a woman to carry a damn child. You can't force her to be a surrogate. And that's what I feel like they're doing. If some law is created that if the man wants the child, then the woman, I'm sorry. This is just one of those situations where it is the woman's choice because it's the woman's body. It's the choice because it's her body.
Can the man have a choice?
He has a choice in who he decides to put his seed in, yes.
And she has a choice.
In that.
She has a choice too. She has a choice. Yes, it's her body, but does it make it right? Just because she has the choice, it doesn't mean that it's right. It just doesn't mean that.
That's the problem. We're not arguing morals. This is not about morality.
You know what? I think it should be moral.
Hold on. The argument is not morality. It's not if this is moral or not. It's just the Afro-Pig. Can you please stop? Like, I'll come to you. I have no problem with that, but just please. Okay, let me get these other lines I open. 216, what's your name? Where you coming from?
This is Rev Chap. I'm calling from Cleveland, Ohio. See.
Hey,
y'all hear me?
Fred.
Please.
Yep, I can hear you well.
Listen. Okay, listen. See, when I heard this topic, I had to get on it because listen, I have let me see. I got 4 children by this woman, right? We got married and everything when we were young.
You have to count it up.
I got 4. Yeah, I got to make sure because we got 2 other children that's not mine. But check this out. Okay, we got separated for a minute. She had a baby by another guy, right? And now I was cool with it, and I was taking care of. I'm still paying child support as we're married. This is the laws in Ohio. This is how they do it. I'm in Cleveland. This is how they do it. And I'm like, okay, well, so this guy gets locked up, you know, and then me and her get back together some kind of way. She get pregnant by me. She wants an abortion right away. I pay for the abortion. I'm working. Okay, I pay for it. She turns right back around, have another baby when this guy get up by him again. And now this guy's locked back up. So the child support money that my kids, that my children are supposed to be getting, are going towards the babies, the 2 babies that's not mine. What kind of situation is that? And then the children are 16 and 17 and 15 years old asking me, Dad, can you help me out? Dad, can you do this? So I feel exactly what this woman is saying about the man should have a choice in what's going on. Because I wanted her to keep my child. I wanted her to keep it. We got 4 already. So I feel what she's saying. Go ahead.
This is the thing. Well, first of all, we're not talking about morality. So we're not talking about right or wrong in that sense. I'm just talking about nature. I'm just talking about strictly how nature works, which is that the woman carries and births the child. That's just what it is. Therefore, because that's just what it is, there's no way, like if there was some alternate way where the man and woman choose who can carry the child or something like that. No, it's going to be the woman who carries the child. So it's going to be her body. It's going to be her that's in the position to care for this child in the womb. The man can do nothing for that baby. Yes, hold on. I hear you. The man can do nothing for the baby while the baby is in the womb. It's the mother. I mean, he can love the mother. He can help support financially. I mean, things like that. But I mean, in terms of it still being her body. So, for instance, if the mama did go out and smoke crack, like, that's what she's doing. That's going to affect that child because that child is still inside of her. That's why I don't get what people say about the child's rights because the child is not born yet. The child is still under the mother's dominion, so to speak. That's just what it is. Now, in your situation and what you were saying, I understand, where you're coming from. But again, see, that's one of the problems and why they love to disunify the black man and woman and our family structure so that you can have all different types of equations that help to further build up mistrust, helps to further build up animosity, because it's like, okay, well, I'm paying child support faithfully. They taking it out of my check, every check I get, and that money for my children is going into that household where she's also caring for her other children. I got you, but there's no real way to do anything about that, because at the end of the day, if your children are with the mother, and the mother is having a home, food, this, that, and the other, taking care of the child, and your money is going towards it, there's no way you can divvy that up. Although I feel what you're saying on a sincere level, it's still no way you can.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you up. I mean, at one point in time, for 3 years straight, I was putting $925 into a household that I wasn't even living in a month. This woman bought a house off of me, and with two other children.
Wait, I'm sorry, is it 216? I mean, what?
Yeah, this rep test. This rep test.
Okay, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, this rep test. You know what I'm saying? This woman bought a house off of me with 2 other children that wasn't even mine. But one of them she aborted. That was mine, that I wanted to keep, and she aborted it because she didn't want to keep it, and then turned around and had a baby by another man that's still in prison to this day. You understand what I'm saying?
It's about respect. It is. It's about respect. We as black, as a black people, okay, as people of color, as black people, we need to respect the man that we choose to open our legs to. Okay, he didn't put a gun to our head. We chose to trust this man enough to not only just open our legs to him, but open our legs to him to a point where we could possibly get pregnant. Okay? So now, when we're in a position where we're pregnant, now we don't want to trust that man. We don't want to give him that due respect that he has as a man to let him know, well, baby, I trusted you and opened my legs to you, but I don't trust you to take care of your kids. I mean, that doesn't even make sense. That doesn't even make sense. I am very serious. Are you serious? It's not going to kill you. It's not real. If you are a healthy, vibrant young woman, okay, it's not going to kill you to carry this. It's not going to kill you to give that man the respect to have his child. It's not going to kill you to give that man the respect to have his child. And it's not, and it's about morals now. It's about morals now because there is no law. It should be a law. It should be a law.
How is that measured by who is healthy and vibrant?
It should be a law.
She could be unhealthy mentally in some other way. People don't always know that. What do you mean healthy and vibrant?
Again, I said, if there is a valid reason, be it physically, mentally, emotionally, where carrying a child is going to do harm to her or the baby, by all means, get your court order and have your abortion. But if there is no mental, physical, emotional reason that you cannot carry a child outside of the reasons that you just don't want to be a mom, and if that man wants to be a father to his child, then by law, it shouldn't be about morals. Then they should make a law.
You cannot impose a woman
in jail because she was doing drugs while she was pregnant.
You can't enforce that. You can't.
All you need to do is make the law. All you need to do is make the law. It's just about making it a law.
Wait, hold on. People who have religion and things of that nature, we hear about free will.
About their religion, they shouldn't be fucking.
Until that baby is in the world, until the baby is present, it's under the woman's care 100% because it's in her body. You can't enforce a woman to carry this child with her. You can't. I'm not saying morally because I'm against abortion 100%. I'm not saying it on a moral level. I'm saying it on a biological level. Hold on,
it should be the law.
You're right.
Morally, it should be the law.
Hold on, y'all. Wait. Let me say this. We're going to 2 minutes up in the live stream, and then we're going to be going to an hour of overtime, which is going to be open conversation. So if you are listening via Blog Talk and somebody still who's frying chicken, frying fish, I don't know. But if you're listening to Blog Talk, you're gonna get cut off. So you have to either go to the YouTube page. You're going to have to go to the YouTube page. Can you hold on, please?
Yes.
You're going to have to go to the YouTube page at youtube.com/ The calling number, just get a calling number. Calling number is 319-527-6058. 319-527-6058. Basically, if you're on Blog Talk, and if you want to comment, go ahead and press 1. You can also go to youtube.com/Psykopathy. SYKOPATHEIST. Okay, go there on YouTube, and you can still hear the rest of the show. Now, let me get my new caller, y'all. Maybe it's some new callers on the line. If you are, I would really respectfully ask everybody who's not currently talking, who's turning this to talk, please just mute your line. Mute your line on your own phone. That way, it can keep down a lot of the background noise. If you're frying chicken, you're doing a pedicure, whatever you're doing, I don't know. But it'll keep that down. Okay, now, what's your name? Where you calling from? What? Why do you do that? I just said I'm getting a new caller, dude. Can you hold on? I'm going to come back to you. You will trust me, okay? 850, peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? 850. Hold on, y'all. Let me go back to the board. Yes, I can hear you now.
Oh, no, what's up? This is Ron from Tallahassee. I called earlier.
Yes. Okay.
I had already called, and I was doing that on the fence about Brother Afropick. I assumed that he wanted to be pro-choice and forcing abortion on the sister, but he clarified himself. He was saying that he just wanted a document saying that he would refuse ownership of the child as the father. But that's all I had to say.
Okay, my bad. Okay, so I'm going to get 330-972, and I think that's Brother E. Carney. I think that was him back on there. Okay, so I'm going to get y'all, so just hang tight with me. Actually, I'm going to open up all the rest of the lines that were on who had pressed 1. So again, family, just mute your own phone, so that way it'll just flow better like that. Okay, 330, peace, what's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Henry from Akron. Black Power. How's everybody doing? Peace,
Black Power. Peace, Henry.
Peace, brother. Black Power.
Brother Afropick, I understand what you are saying. Sister Renee, I understand what you are saying. That we need those two extremes to be able to find a balance. And I would say that to Renee, I would say that you said this is not really about moral, but you're looking more at nature. In nature, animals go out and they get and eat, and they basically just produce for anything that will allow them to. In some cases, the female will, kind of give a test before she will allow the male to come into her and produce feed, whatever you can protect your seed or so on and so forth. However, with humans, it is also our nature to procreate. But the difference between us and animals is we can consider whether or not that person is going to be a provider or a good dad or whatever before we actually go into it. So that takes us back to morality because there's too much screwing going on just to be screwing. We don't want to screw in over anything and saying, because you look good, I want to screw your mama. I mean, this is what we doing. And then when a baby gets brought to a situation, then we want to try right. Right? So when the baby is in the mother, you say that it is in her right because it's still in her body. I agree with you. But there is a stereotype particularly about the black men, that we don't really care about a baby that ain't on. So the idea that a man can actually,
that woman can come to a brother and say, "Hey, I'm pregnant," and that guy was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have a baby. I'm gonna be a daddy." That's not even considered. Most of the time, you know, it's like we better get rid of that thing. That's how we view. Hello. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm still out.
Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
So I'm not trying to prolong the thing. You know, I'm just saying that when a woman has made the choice to allow a man inside of her, everything that you just said about her having to carry the baby to term and all the responsibilities, she can actually die from having to. So all of those things that she should be more so very careful about. She should be more so careful about allowing a person inside of her. So versus just screwing around with everything. Oops, now I'm pregnant. Now I want to say, oh, I got all these responsibilities. You don't have no say so because the baby's inside of me. Guess what is also inside of her? That man's life.
Absolutely.
A part of his life is in her too. So when you kill that, you kill a piece of him. So that's what we have to find the meeting.
Absolutely, brother.
But to find a meeting point in between where, and I think Afropick has a good part of it. I think there's some flaws in some of the things that he's saying, but I think Afropick does have his valid points as well as you.
What do you think is flawed? What's the point that's flawed?
Well,
hold on. Let me get the new caller. Let me get the new callers first, and then we'll have it open. Again, if y'all could please just mute your line till the floor is open. All right, 972 Peace. What's your name? Where you calling from? Peace. Can you hear me? I can hear you. Hey, this is Phoenix Black, Peace Queen. I know it. Peace. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing good. Well, I just got in on this conversation kind of late. But what I do want to say is, because y'all hear about people complaining about baby mamas and baby daddies after the fact. And my thing is, I think it goes back to accountability on both sides. Know who you are with, getting with before you impregnate them, before you conceive a child, before you bring any, life into that situation. Because I heard a brother talking about he had a baby with a girl, then the same girl had a baby about someone in prison. Well, and then when got out, the guy got up and she had another baby with him. Why would you be with someone like that in the first place? We have to get to a place that we take some accountability, be able to have better discernment about who we're getting with. If you know that person ain't about shit when you meet them, you have no business fucking them to begin with. So we have to take more accountability and about who we get with. If that person, if you know from jump that person ain't really about shit, they're not wife material, they're not husband material, then you shouldn't be screwing them. Then we would have to worry about bringing in children in the world that aren't, unplanned pregnancies. Then we would have to worry about, do I want to get an abortion? There wouldn't be a case for child support because you're using more discernment about who you get involved with.
That's what.
I agree with that.
I agree 100% with everything you said. And I think that's the thing too. Brother, let me get Brother Equani, because he has a and he dropped off.
Peace, Black Power. How you guys?
Think like crackers.
Black Power. Wow. Oh, okay. I just wanted to start off by saying this: that if you see the dynamics in which a police officer, he's equipped with the baton, he's equipped with the walkie-talkie, and most dangerously, he's equipped with the gun. And I think our issue right now is that he don't know what to do with either. Instead of shooting you, he should be tasing you. You understand? But he's grabbing his gun. So he doesn't know how to properly utilize his tool. So I hear a lot of people saying, well, hey, these cops need more training on how to utilize such. And this is where I am with us as occupants and as we hold penises as men and as our women hold vaginas as our women. And as our mothers, our sisters can encourage us as men on the proper ways to utilize our instruments, on as well as us encouraging our sisters, helping provide that support that they need rather than, feeling or getting esteem by feeling like the raunchy woman that want to throw her stuff all over the place. Quickly us as brothers, we applaud that, we encourage that. Let's encourage the sister that want to sit on her stuff. You understand that wants to be a virgin, and again, it goes back to what you guys were just saying, being Europeanized, and because a lot of times these things have been instruments of conditioning for our little boys, for our little girls. Now, rather than them seeing the marriage before the sex, they're looking at the sex. You understand? And the sex is something that should come later with procreation. When in going back to Africa, in Kemet, the woman's name was Het Haru, or the House of Haru. She's the one that housed life. Period. Point blank. All life had to come through the mother. So even as Renee said, everything wasn't equal. That's true. You know what I'm saying? Because life didn't come through the man in that case. You understand? Although it was a shared experience, that definitely was the woman's thing. So I think it is just important where we as men, our little boys, our little girls, they understand what they are supposed to do with these instruments and how they are to be utilized for the liberation of our African lineage. They are supposed to be utilized for the liberation of our African lineage, to produce families, to produce, this is for production. So when we look at a woman, little boys, little girls, you know what I'm saying, we want to look at her with the eye in mind, like she can take care of my kids. She can take care of a house, not she's working, she can pop it on my thing, or even with our women looking at our men, that he's going to be a protector of my house. Not that he's going to give it to me good from the back, or that he's going to look good naked. No. This is where we are at right now. And until we rid ourselves of that European thinking, we're always going to be presented with the solution, with the results of thinking with the European mind. So therefore, we're going to be fighting rather than being united. So I think this is a good discussion, and hopefully I've been able to add a little something to the table as you all have been. I'd like to, can I say something about this?
Well, thank you. Let me, hold on, Ashley. Hold on, please. I'm going to get my co-host and see if my co-host wanted to say anything.
I want to say something.
All right. Psycho?
Yeah, peace. Okay, yeah, peace. Yeah, well, I understand a lot of people's points and everything. I think the abortion issue is a very touchy subject. That's probably a whole show, to be honest with you. That alone. I definitely agree that the woman should have the final choice, but I do agree that the man should have some say so, and I don't feel like the man has enough say so. I'm not sure. I don't really have any solutions on how to fix that problem, but ultimately, I do feel like the woman should have the final choice because it's her body.
All right, can I say something now, Sister Renee?
All right, thank you. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm really trying to say, y'all, is exactly what Psycho did. Because we can see this like morals can be argued. So you can argue that, well, should the person this and that, but morality is still subjective, right? It's still subjective. So in terms of that, you can't necessarily enforce that on anybody. That's why I'm saying it has less to do about respect or if it's right. Well, I'm talking about once the woman is already pregnant. It has really less to do about that and more to do about biology. Because at the end of the day, that man cannot take on that birth. So how can he then make a choice in something that is in the woman's body? As Brother Henry said, and I'm glad you said this because this reminded me, a woman can die during childbirth. Many women do. So you have a woman, and then let's talk about some other variables. The sister said, well, if it's a young, vibrant woman or something to that degree, but she can be young and vibrant or whatever else and then she not want to carry the baby, but she's going ahead and carrying the baby, and then she dies while having the baby. You know, what then should be said in that situation? Then there's other situations where the woman, and this I think recently happened, but the woman got pregnant, and she had something going on, and it was like not necessarily a 50-50 chance, but some kind of percentage where she could possibly die during childbirth. And I think it was the father wanted her, or no, I think the mother wanted to go ahead and have the baby, or vice versa. Now, what do you do in those situations where there's a high likelihood, or not even a high likelihood, but it can be a likelihood because of something else wrong that a woman could die during childbirth? What about when people have, now they can tell you if your baby will have Down syndrome or some other type of issues and things of that nature? That's why I'm saying it's too many different variables there. And you cannot insure for every single variable. That's why I say, because it's still the woman's body, it's still her choice until the child's here. Until the child's here. That's all I'm saying. Now, once the child is here, the child does have rights to me, because the child has rights to be taken care of, to be provided for, things of that nature, which is why they can take the baby and put the baby in a foster home, or someone can adopt the child or what have you. But if that baby's in that mama's stomach, you kind of have to just deal with it. Now, let me ask this question, and I'm going to go around. We'll start all over. I'm going to come back to you, Afro-Pig. Listen, you're going to be, I think you're number 2. You're number 2, okay? So I'm about to come back to you. Let me just say this, because I want to ask a different way. Now, let's talk about after the child is here, right? Because I know we're not going to agree with what you were just talking about. But now let's talk about once the baby's here. Should a man be able to say, hey, man, you know, yeah, I got you pregnant. Okay, if you want to say it like that. And that's my child. Paternity is proven, okay, that it's his child. But, man, I don't want no kids, man. I wanted you to get an abortion. You didn't want to do it. You want to have a baby. So then don't come to me asking me to take care of that baby or provide for that baby. That ain't my child. I don't want no kids. Should he be able to sign away everything and not be financially obligated through the state to pay child support?
Absolutely fucking not.
I'll start with Prince.
Absolutely
I'm going to start with Prince, then Afro-Pig, and I'm going to go down the line. All right, Prince, what do you think?
Hell no. He shouldn't have laid down with it. He shouldn't have been wrong. Only way you get out of that, if you was pregnant, say, the rubber buck, no chick, I don't have no baby or nothing like that. Only way. But if you're over there, raw dogging all this time, and you all of a sudden, it's called chemistry, it's called nature. What do you think gonna happen? You know? So this all comes down to African education. Really, when we get back to teaching class, African health, and all this type of stuff, you know, they got to know what you're here for. You think semen doesn't impregnate ovaries? Huh? Look at this shit, huh? I learned that shit when I was in 4th fucking grade. Okay? I wasn't even thinking about fucking. But they told me, you learn this shit. This is elementary bullshit. So you think you're gonna stuff in and get out of your parental right? No, sir. No, man. You need to quit messing, and then you need to quit fucking hoes. Okay? You need to start getting with queens. Real women. Okay? You think and then on top of that, if the woman thinks this cat, then women got to stop laying down with these overhead ass niggas. He ain't standing attention. He ain't standing attention. He ain't being a king. He ain't being a man about it. You don't give him none. You don't mess with that dude. Don't give him no dick. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You got about
vice versa.
You got about a minute and some change left.
Vice versa, this shit. And that's what the problem is. Oh, man, you can't come out of that. You know? You don't need to be laying down. That's what it is, Mike. It's all about preventive maintenance. me. You know what I'm saying? You ain't don't want no baby, man. Don't be out here like this. Yeah, I might, something happen. She might even be mine now. Man, she pregnant. Well, damn, I better go on and man up. Must miss me to be a daddy right now. They just say it's time for me to get it done. Now you're going against the nature. Now you're going against nature. Now you don't want to have the baby. You're doing natural, but you're making natural calls though to have one. Man, stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit. That's how it is. That's how it is. Well, we got a distance thing, You can ride up in these chicks, man. Y'all don't want to have no baby. I got to go get diaphragms and all this old implants and shit. Y'all go on and spend the money and do right then. You don't want no babies. Mm-hmm. So if you poor ass motherfucker ain't got no insurance, no money to do nothing, then take your ass up there to the goddamn store. All right. Buy your goddamn year supply of Trojan or whatever the motherfucking be and keep strapping them bitches up. Yeah. Spermicide, all that.
Okay, hold on. We doing 3 minutes. We doing 3 minutes. And I go down with it, so let the person speak. All right, SOP. You got it.
Well, the brother did have some questions for me, which was lost, but look, I'm gonna be real clear. If I was seeking the company of a woman, I understand that what I've said may not lead you to the promised land between her legs. And my answers will be more like some of the people that have spoken, okay, without saying anybody's name. But if we speak from a logical and moral standpoint, that is what I have said, and the sister Nicola, who I appreciate her talking about morality, which is often missing from the conversation of the black man and woman and how we proceed in our community. You would have to say that you can't have it all. We have never disputed that it's her body. But what we start about was the conversation, should the man have any right? Could he have a right to terminate his responsibility? And most of you brothers have not dealt with that because I understand it will interfere with your ability to reproduce. I got you. I don't have that as a concern because the kind of woman that I'm going to reproduce with is going to deal with me. I'm past the mic.
All right. Let me go down the list to the next one. Okay. That's Brother Jason. Yeah, I just want to kind of get a pattern started because, like I said, we got so many people on the line. There's still a lot of people making noise in the back. I just don't know what else to say about it. So, I've asked very nicely and stuff. I don't know. So I just want everybody to be heard. You know what I'm saying? I just want everybody to have their ability to be heard and say what they want to say on the issue. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next one, which is going to be Brother Jason, and then after that, Brother E, and after that is I'm trying to remember who goes 617. But go ahead, Brother Jason.
Yeah, let me make my statement. I was brought up by a single mom. So, I know how it is. So, but, we have to be very careful who we lay down with. You know what I'm saying? To begin with, we have to be careful who you lay down with. We thinking like some streaking like dogs and heat, like dudes like, oh man, look at that. Let me go and smash that. You know what I'm saying? So, like, smashing everything and move. And just, women just throwing her vagina all around and stuff. Dudes just like, smashing stuff all over the place and stuff like that. So I think that, like, we can't play around when it comes to sex and stuff like that. And the thing is, like we're saying, like we've been Europeanized. We think like, we're thinking like, like white people in the sense that, like, in the first place, and like, and like we'll say, like in West Africa, like traditional African culture, I would say that like when you like bringing a kid to the world is a good thing. It's like a gift. So basically, like like in Ethiopia, I think it's like abortion is like legal or whatever. Something is illegal, but it's like it's a beautiful thing. Like we think like bringing a kid in the world is like bad thing is like so basically like the ancestors live through a child, but you know what I'm saying. But I feel like that it is the woman's body. If she's gonna be carrying the kid, the man does get the seed, but she's carrying the kid at the same time. But as far as the abortion thing, that does become like a moral issue when it comes to like having an abortion and not that is a moral thing because it's the woman's body, but you actually carrying another body, too. So it's like it's not just the woman's body. You know what I'm saying? There's another body within the woman's body. So I think that so I think that we have to consider that, and I think that as far as like the child support thing, I feel like that like the state shouldn't be involved in like social affairs when it comes to families and marriage and all that type of stuff. The state needs to be taken out of it, the government and stuff like that. I feel like they, what I'm saying, that's how like the homosexuality thing, because the state is not. I think that the state is going to do things just because something's legal doesn't make morality. Court systems don't deal with morality. They just deal with they deal with what do you call it? Satisfying certain groups, and that's it. That's what I'm saying. So court systems don't deal with ethics or morality or something like that. Just because something's legal don't make it right. So legality has nothing to do with morality. Right. So basically, and I was saying that basically with me, what I think is that like once that but I do agree with this. Once you lay down with a person, I feel like when you have that kid, I think like the other brother was saying, you have responsibility, and I think that, you have to take accountability for that child. You know what I'm saying? It's like you decide to lay down with them and stuff like that, and you just like it's too many people.
All right.
There's too many people that have to go around having kids. I don't know. They don't know who the daddy is and all that stuff. So I think we do have to take
3 minutes.
There has to be accountability. All right.
Well,
all right.
I like to say this.
Hey, brother, you ain't even gave me 3 minutes. Go on, brother.
This is these arguments we have here, even with like tonight with Sharon. This is a result of a slave mentality. What they call the buck breaking. You know what I'm saying? And because of this long drawn process, now we operate now in the same manner. But it's worse now because now we're involved with this Peckwood in his system, where he's still dictating our reality and how we want to view family or some sort of structured family. It's a problem. And most of people that because they're not going to see the importance that, we have to really get back to our real culture again. Because these are results. And when you follow some other foreign people's culture with their system of a system that put in place really for their benefit, because really child support, if you think about the history, is really designed because of this European man and his bastardization. And with his bastardization, a lot of black men, much times they were men, we fall under to the same behavior to this pastor as, indoctrinate us. That it's okay to engage in bastardization too with our own children. So with this, this man has done a very much excellent, I would say, job to how he could sit there and capitalize off what he has created. And we just fall in the script, So, when we deal with, brain child noise, this should not be a discussion. We should be at one point know what the hell we're doing. But then again, equally could agree with this. We don't go through any practices of manhood and womanhood. So obviously when we get to teenage, we're not prepared to know what we do in regards to how we deal with this thing we call sex in our bodily functions. So when we get to the age we get that fit, we think it's okay to just stick in to get enough happens. And really nature doesn't work like that. It never works like both the men and the woman. So now when we have these issues now where we have to still involve this bastard say, I don't want to take risks. No. Once you start engaging this, all rules aside, you know what I'm saying? Either you go man up or not, or a woman up or not, with this child coming on the way. Either your life is on the line, you know. Which at times, you know, that's just a given, because nowadays, if the woman dies in the process, it really benefits the system at the end of the day, if she chooses to keep it or not. And if she does keep it, and her life might be in jeopardy, and let's say she goes through her untimely death, this is a benefit to that. So, you know, we gotta get ourselves situated, man. Because it's not getting easy out here, and the problem is going to get worse as long as we allow it, you know. So when people talk about the solutions, I mean, I always question, are people really serious? You know, because it's just now we're just going back and forth on things that, you know, we should already get a grips rate. You know, say now, as much time we think about, if we had to go see another race of people to help our problems in regards to this, then we might as well say just kick the bucket and say that's it. We wrap
3 minutes.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah.
I'm not long with
3 minutes. You made some really, really great points, especially about rites of passage. That was 100% on target. Okay, let me go down the list. Let me just say this. For everybody who's on the line, as soon as I get done with this list, it should just be a free-for-all. Because I just want everybody to be able to get their words in. And it's a free-for-all. Okay? All right. Who's next on the list?
The next 30 minutes. It's going to be free-for-all.
Hi. Yes, thank you. Yeah, it's me. So I want to thank all the brothers for the wise words that they said. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I think that what many of the brothers brought up a very good point of bringing it back to our culture, bringing it back to us as a culture, and not falling prey to, let's face it, the white man's way of living. If we were all back at in our natural, you know, way of living, it would be an honor. We as Black women would be proud to have these babies by these men that we love. It wouldn't even be an issue. But I bring it back again to, I feel that because I respect my Black man so much, he helped me make that baby. He has every right to have a decision and a say with that baby. That is his God-given right. And who am I to take that away from him? Now, as far as, you know, the percentage, as I said again, I know that issues can arise and come up. And as Ms. Renee said before, women can die at childbirth. This is absolutely true. But the percentage of that is so small, it rarely happens. And if it does happen, it's because of other underlying issues. Rarely will a woman just lose a child simply because they just carried the baby wrong. No, there's underlying medical issues that are there that are found out during your pregnancy when you're going to your appointments. But I respect her views, and I respect your opinion on, as a woman myself, to be able to have that right. What I'm saying is the way that I feel is that I respect my man. And if my man says, baby, let's do this, then of course I'm going to give him this child. It's just no say about it. I'm carrying him inside of me. It's not about it being my body. It's about me being a vessel to bring his child into this world. It's just that simple, and that's the way that I look at it. And once I have that child, if I don't feel like I want to raise it, or if I say, honey, you can raise the baby, if I trusted him enough to lay down with him to make the baby, I should trust him enough to give him the rights to raise that child and do everything that I can to keep my race going by making sure that I have a healthy pregnancy. And that's all I have to say.
If we get this woman a black, if we get her to start a black woman,
all right, let's go on my food. Please.
I'm just saying, if we had black women talking
let me
like
go
that,
to 850. 850. You there? 850. If you're seeking your lifestyle music. Woo! 850-566. All right. Let me go to 216. 216. They still on the board. 216. If you're talking, your line's muted.
She shut it down. People ain't got nothing. They can't
216. All right, I'm gonna move on down the line.
No, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, this is
Okay.
Rev chat. Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Rev.
I want to address what Afro-Pink was trying to say. If we have more queens speaking like this sister than just folks, I don't know her name right offhand, we would be in a better place. Because, but I have to totally agree with it. Absolutely not. The man is totally obligated if he laid out with this woman to take care of his child. 100%. Yep. 100%. We have to take care of our children. We have to take care of our children. I have 5 children. I take care of them all. She could tell you they never wanted for nothing, and I paid child support, and they never wanted for nothing. So I mean, that's really all I got to say. I mean, it's just a messed up situation that we need to have these type of discussions because our ancestors. My grandfather came from a child 15 siblings. 15, 16 siblings on both sides. My mother and father's side, 15, 16, 13 siblings. So there's no excuse for our people not to be able to take care of each other. There's no excuse. I mean, we sitting up here like beating a dead horse talking about this because I'm not saying we're beating a dead horse, but I wanted to say we can find a way to take care of our children. And we should find a way by any means necessary. There's no excuse. There's no excuse.
Do black men have equal rights to black women, or should we have less rights to black men?
Hold on,
Well, we be saying should we have can you repeat the question?
Goodness gracious.
Should we have less rights than the black women had?
Not as far as our children go, absolutely not. Not as far as our children go, absolutely not. The male and the female. Absolutely not. I had to agree with what the sister said about we should have those rights.
Hi, Rev. Is that your Rev?
Yeah, this Rev.
Okay, go ahead.
I have to agree with what the sister said. If that woman is capable and healthy enough to have this child, we should have a right to say so. But if she's not healthy, I have to agree with what the sister said. If that woman is healthy enough to have this child, and if she don't want it, they should make her have that child and let the man take on the responsibility. I mean, I have to agree because, like I said, I've been through it already. You know what I'm saying? I've been through the shit. And it fucked me up, and then she turned around and had another child by somebody else. I mean, and it fucked me up, and then my child support paying for the 2 kids that's not even mine. I mean, you got to understand where the mentality of these women, the mentality changes of these women. I mean, me and her had our first child when we were 15. Our oldest son right now is 24, 25 years old. You know what I'm saying? Our youngest is 16. Okay, yes. I got 4 children by her.
Your 3 minutes is up.
I mean, it's messed up. Okay, okay, Queen Renee, go ahead. Sure, I got nothing.
Okay, your 3 minutes is up. But I really want to ask you a question. Who's next? Henry's next, and then Phoenix, and then Equanique. And then I'll go back and try 50 after Equanique. I just want to ask you this real quick. And like I said earlier, I don't want to get personal, but since you did, you volunteered it. Okay, you volunteered it. I think, somebody asked you to put that out there and you volunteered it. So, okay. So my question would be, because you said you agree with what the sister said as far as if she's healthy, then they should make her. That's exactly what you said. They should make her carry the baby. Now, my question to you is, one, how are you going to make a woman carry a baby? How do you enforce that? And then number 2, so like if she loses the baby and she says it was a miscarriage, or if she is pregnant with the baby but she doesn't take good care of herself, and the child may come out with some issues or things of that nature. Like, I don't know how you enforce that. But anyway, and then my other question is, because this is something that a question I have, and I've asked sisters in this position as well. But you said you have 4 children with this woman. You said her oldest child is 20-something.
25, my oldest.
Okay, so Okay. So my question to you is, you were never married to her, right? Or
we still married at this point. We going through a divorce right now.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, that's cool. Because my question was gonna be, I thought you weren't married to her. Because I was gonna say, how do you have 4 children with a woman, and it's not married, but you were married? Okay, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, we are married.
Okay. All right. Brother Henry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you can go ahead and answer that.
Yeah, to answer the question, there's really no question in it. There's really no answer that I can't answer that question because it's so deep. Because the woman has to say so in that. You know what I'm saying? I agree with what you're saying too, Queen Renee. Because you can't actually force a woman to have a baby. You can't force her to have a baby. But she should be obligated to have this baby for this man. If he's going to tell you, you got to deal with the mentality of the woman and the woman that you're dealing with. So I understand women change mentality is easy. You know what I'm saying? Like the woman that I met 20 years ago is not the same woman that I'm dealing with 20 years later. It's not the same woman. The mentality just changed. Like I said, we grew apart. We were together since we were 15, 16 years old. The mentality of it just grew apart some kind of way. I did a prison term, and she came back. I had a child when I came out. She was with somebody else. I went and had another son, and then she had 2 more kids. But we still married at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of stuff. The mentality of the people changed. Our mentality changed. I don't know why, but we just grew apart, and that's what it was.
Would you think if somebody? Do you think that you changed though since you was 15?
Yeah, absolutely. I matured. I became a man.
Right.
Absolutely. Right.
So then it's customary then. I don't understand what you're saying probably in terms of the relationship and things. Okay, let me go in here because I have like a ton of questions I could ask you. Well, let me go ahead.
I already know Queen Renee going in, and I love your build because you always have a great build, and your topics and your points. You be right on point. I'm gonna just say that. You be right on point.
Thank you.
With a lot of things that you say.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Brother Henry, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna kind of hit on 2 things that everybody has been saying, not attacking anyone. I noticed that some people are saying that if my man got me pregnant and he wanted to have a baby, I think it was right for my man and so forth. But a lot of these pregnancies aren't even coming out of decent relationships. A lot of these pregnancies are coming on one stand. They're coming out of the side chicks. They're coming out of situations where people are screwing around in their marriage. So this is not just about a boyfriend and a girlfriend having a decent relationship and oops up, we made a mistake, what do you want to do? So this is something else that we have to factor in with what the applicant is saying. We don't, and you're right. We don't have a rite of passage for our men in this particular culture. So we miss out on a lot of things. So therefore, as a result of that, we get raised not to be husbands or wives. We basically are raised to be single. Even when we go into our marriage life, we go into it with a single mindset a lot of times. It's all about me. What do I want? You got to satisfy me. You are responsible for my happiness. We're not even unity minded because that's not put in us. It's like you get everything you can get and as much as you can get to your satisfaction. I brought up that Brother Applepick has some flaws in his. He has to work with some of the flaws. And I'm gonna just say some of them really quick, and then I got a question for you, Renee, if you don't mind. Some of the flaws would be, what if the man
happens if the woman decides, the man makes provision that he's going to go ahead, raise his child now with another woman, but now once the woman births the child, he's got all these maternal instincts that wants to hold on now to the child. She wants to be the mother. She don't want to try to take this down. These are all things that can cause problems in the society, you know. And I, you know, of course, you know, like I said, because a lot of stuff is coming out of side chicks and stuff like that, a lot of times these guys don't have a pot to piss in, so they're not going to be able to pay for that child to be born, so he really doesn't have any rights anyway, you know. But I have a question for you, Renee, and then that's going to be the end of my 3 minutes. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Go ahead.
I understand exactly what you're saying about the woman and her right to have her rights to her body and the babies inside of her. Can you switch up, if at all possible, for just a hot second, and you become the man that has made love to your woman, and she has now told you that she's pregnant, and you are ecstatic, and you dreaming about your son, daughter, whatever, you want this child with everything you got. Y'all have a little argument, you have a little disagreement or whatever, and all she has second thoughts about because now she says to you, I don't think I want to have this baby. What do you just suck it up and it's like, okay, it's your body, okay, well, cool, peace out. Or I mean, I'm sure you would try to convince her to have it, but what do you do when the shoe is on the other foot and you're the man, and that's your child, that's your seed? What do you do?
Well, I mean, that's a really great question. And it's a tough one, but I would, like you said, I would probably do what I could to try to convince her to have the baby. In terms of, you know, I'll be here supporting you. Hey, again, y'all, can you have a future line if you're not talking, please? Just please, thank you. You know, I would, like you said, try to convince her, try to, you know, I'm here for you financially. You know, I will try to make it as easy, quote unquote, easy on you as I can. You know, I support you. You know, things are gonna be okay. This, that, and the other. What about your family? What about our family? They're excited, or they will be excited. You know, I would just probably try those types of things to maybe reach some type of emotional connection. If the woman is religious, I would speak to her in terms of that. You know, terminating your pregnancy. You know, why would you want to do that? That's, you know, a beautiful life. I would probably say all of those types of things to try to be as convincing as I possibly could. A man may cry. That's something heavy. You know, I'm in no way like dismissing the emotional heaviness of something like that. You know, a man will be probably furious. He will probably be hurt, upset, furious, angry. You know, broke down, probably every emotion that you can have. The only thing is, it still does come back to nature. You know, it still does come back to, as much as you want that baby, you were unable to take that baby from that woman to carry that child yourself. It's still up to her and her body to carry that baby for 40 weeks. And because of that, you know, go ahead.
Can I say this real quick? When we talk about nature, you know, the male animal goes to the female animal. She produces the child. In nature, the female doesn't have a choice. In nature, the geese or whoever it is, the bull or whatever, she doesn't make a decision to keep or not keep the baby. In nature, once she's impregnated, she has that child. Or cattle or whatever it is, offspring. So if you're really going to stick to nature, once she's impregnated, you bring forth.
Okay, it just got clear, didn't it?
Yeah. Okay. Now.
Okay. Yeah, that's Brother E. Yeah, Brother E. Mute your line, please. on your phone. All right, go ahead. Yeah, I'll let you wrap it up. Was you wrapping it up?
Yeah, I was saying in nature that the female doesn't have a choice whether to have it or not. When she's impregnated, she brings forth a child. So if you're using nature as an example, how do you account for that?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to do a million things at once. Okay, I'm back. Full attention.
Okay.
Say that one more time.
You said that you're using nature as your example. I said, but in nature, when a male impregnates the female, the animal does not have the option to abort the child. The animal just brings forth once it's impregnated. So how does that tie into your using nature as an example?
Well, the difference is, what I meant by nature is, it's still up to the woman's body. Now, we can talk about humans. As humans, we are supposed to be I guess what people may use the term most evolved or most evolved or whatever, highest form of life in terms of intelligence, the ability to use logic and reason, and to create and do all of those sorts of things. So that's going to be a division between humans and any animal. However, in terms of human nature, with human nature, the woman carries the child. Now, of course, they come up with abortions and things of that nature that are more so, things in a society, and that's an option. Unfortunately, that is an option that's out there in society now. So because of that, and because it is the woman's body, this still is her choice. Because let's say, and we don't even know in what capacity within animals, because you have some animals that eat their young. You have some animals that do different things. But I'm just saying, in terms of humans, we do have abortion in the society. That is part of society, unfortunately. And because the woman is carrying the baby, I don't see how you can enforce making her carry it. I just don't see it.
I know that people keep talking about going back to Africa, the African ways and ways of our ancestors. Did our ancestors practice abortion?
I don't know. I don't know. Because let's keep it funky. Now, you might probably a lot of us, our grandparents and things are gone now, but if you talk or heard from your grandmothers, your great-grandmothers, and everything, they talked about coat hangers. They talked about if you drink something. In fact, Sister Imuna, who was here, Imuna Yisrael, who was here, and I'm about to come to you now, Sister Phoenix, and then Brother Equani's. Sister Imuna, she talked about that. She talked about that the women knew if you drank certain concoctions and things in that time, that can help to cause you to lose your baby. See, I'm thinking that they did have abortion. It wasn't in the way that it is today. Like, they didn't have a Planned Parenthood, but they had certain things they did to where maybe it could help bring about the loss of the child. That's a real thing. So, no, they didn't have abortion in an organized form, but they did have ways to abort babies. And there's a lot of information out there about it. That's actually one of the reasons why abortions come about. And I told y'all this before, but it's a great show called The Nick. I think it doesn't come on anymore, but it's based on real historical, things that happened. And it's at the turn of the 1901, and where this happened. And so the story is about a hospital, the Knickerbocker Hospital. And it basically, one of the storylines is about a nun who, and this is a real story, who got locked up. They sent her to prison because she was performing abortion. And she was doing it with, the means they used back in that time. And she did it because these women were coming to her. They were in different situations and peril and different things going on. And they felt they didn't want to have the baby. And so she was performing the abortions. And so they locked her up and all of that stuff. But one of the reasons why they started making it more organized is because there were women who was losing their lives behind. It's another movie based on it. I can't think of it at the hours. And women, it's like the story of 3 different women in abortion. And women were losing their lives, even into the 50s and things, behind trying to perform these abortions. So yes, they did have abortions. But let me get Phoenix, and then let me get Brother Juanise, and then we may have a little time left. But go ahead, Sister Phoenix.
Peace. Yeah, and you are right. Just so happy I kind of came across by accident this book I've been reading about how to normalize periods and everything. There are some herbs that, even now, that you can probably get from Whole Foods, somewhere like that basically the same kind of stuff that would bring on a period if you're not having it for like some other reason would cause a woman that she is pregnant to, abort the baby. And but down through the year, you're right. They knew of different concoctions and potions and herbs and stuff like that to do it. It just wasn't as, I guess, out in the open, and it wasn't like, advertised the way it is now or out there. But anyways, I feel like when it comes down to that type of situation, I feel that was for the woman, but I feel that, for the woman, being that she is the one that is biologically carrying the child, ultimately it comes down to what she wants to do. Whether we like it or not, it is what it is. Biologically, she is the one that is carrying that child. Now, in the perfect world, it would be wonderful if we all wanted the baby and we had a perfect relationship, but as we all know, it doesn't always go down that way. And even myself, when I was, I was pregnant with my youngest daughter, for instance, I had her father was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be there. I want to, we're going to have it, we're going to be there, we're going to use that. And then when it came down to when the baby was actually born, he was nowhere to be found. Well, he came around when he felt like it. But you know what I'm saying? It was, and this, we were in a relationship. It wasn't like a, crazy situation. So, but what I tell women to do, and I don't really like to take a position of pro-choice or pro-life or whatever, but what I do tell women to do, make the choice that's, best for you, that's going to be best for you in the future, and whatever that may be, because, and then, let's be honest, men do leave. Men have a change of heart. Sometimes we have a change of heart. So I just tell women, that I talk to about it, do what's best for you. But I feel as far as the man's position on it, I feel that a man should be, even if he really wants a child, he can still voice that to her, but at the same time, be supportive no matter what she makes.
Agreed. All right, I agree 100%. All right, Brother Equanese, you basically gonna close us out because we gonna be right there at the mark. I'm gonna just say this, family. We will be back Sunday night. I'll be back Sunday night with Brother Knowledge Point Out Live. We're gonna get into some heavy things, so look out for that. I'll be putting that flyer up at some point soon. No, Brother Equanese hasn't got to go yet. That's okay. Let me go ahead and let Brother Equanese go. All right. I want to thank all of y'all so much. All right, go ahead.
Okay, absolutely. I just want to start off by saying, as we're talking about procreation, and we're talking about community, we're talking about culture, we're talking about the importance of revitalizing ourselves, being agricultural, fertilizing, and thinking about our seeds in mind. And I heard you guys bring up the point about rites of passage. It should be a thing that is very important before we're carrying out duties of, doing the things of making love, having sex, that we are carrying out other duties of being able to sustain the level before getting to, impregnate a woman or, being in a situation where a woman is pregnant. So I think as we are evaluating ourselves, because again, we know that sex or making love is an act of bringing the ancestors back. And if you're black, the reason you're black is because you are African in your your genetic makeup. So inside that, I think it's important that you do things in the way that were important to, like the brother said, our ancestors. Even I think we talked about homosexuality. We talk about selling drugs. We're talking about womanizing. These cats want to be pimps. All these are things, even with killing our children, no matter what age they are. Some people might try to justify it at any age, or harming or putting our children in danger, harming or endangering our elderly. This is shit that you just don't do. You understand? And if you haven't been taught and groomed with he is supposed to be submissive and needy to a woman. You understand? Equally. Where that thing is a shared, but at the same time, in their training, you know, they aren't equal because a woman would have to go on her course and so inside grooming herself in proper womanhood, and as well as a man grooming himself inside proper manhood in order to bring the appropriate people that would be competent of laying down and having sex and bringing life. This is a very serious thing, but a lot of times we haven't taken it serious. That's why we are discussing it in the derogatory manner in which we are discussing it now. With some of this shit we don't even need to be talking about, because it's like, man, we only need to be talking about things that are going to be productive for us.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
All right, that's the end of the show. I want to thank everybody for listening. The show will be back on Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Shout out to Fred. Shout out to Fave. Shout out to Muchacha. Shout out to Kansu. Let's see, Kwame. I know Elizabeth was in here earlier. Nikki, everybody that was in the live chat and participated today. Once again, we'll be back Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks again for listening. We out.